Hello, hi, it's Liz here. Back today with the Nature Journal. Just quite fancy doing a wee page in this instead of mixed media today. I just had a notion and, you know, we should do what we want to do. So we'll just take my lollipop stick closure off and put that safely over to the side there. And yeah, the Nature Journal probably won't take much more. There's still a few empty pages, but I'm not sure whether I'll just stamp on the empty pages rather than add much more to it. It is getting quite full, and I'm not sure that I want it much fuller than that. Anyway, today's project, I was looking through my magazine snippets that I keep. Anything to do with nature, I need to do a robin page. Anything to do with nature, I tear out the magazines and I keep them in a separate place with a view to them eventually ending up in a nature journal. And I came across, so there's some flowery things, leaves, nettles. So that's my little bundle that I'm working my way through. But like I say, it's getting kind of bouncy. Anyway, I found this in my snippet, my magazine snippet bundle. Puffins. Puffins are the clowns of the seabirds, and I just love them. I think they're just, it says there, magical creatures. I also have this old bookmark calendar, which is a series of puffin photographs. So yeah, so I thought, right, a wee page all on puffins. So I've picked two out. What I've done is I've stuck some paper on the back because it's glossy, and to write on glossy or stamp on glossy is just a bit of a no-no for me. It just smudges and everything. Yeah, so I've got that and I've got that. I've made a wee start with this one. Two puffin colonies, the Isle of May and the Shetland Isles. There's a few puffin colonies, but these are the two that I could find wee bits of map for. So the Shetland Isles is away up the north of the north coast of Scotland, and Isle of May, there it is there. That little dot is the tiny Isle of May, and it's in the Firth of Forth, which that's the river that leads, the River Forth, which leads into Edinburgh. So Edinburgh would be round about there. So it's just off the coast there, of the Kingdom of Fife. And yeah, that little dot, can you see it? So, and I've used my usual favourite stamp set for using the Nature Journal. We'll be using it again in a minute. So yeah, and I thought this would make a nice pocket, and we'll put the two little cards in. I toyed with an eyelet and, you know, some twine or something, but you know, I think I'm just going to leave them as nice photographs. So what I'm going to do first is going to stick this pocket in. I just gave it a little double stitch around to add a little bit of something. And I've got a page somewhere. There it's there. I was thinking here would be nice, just with the white grid paper behind. It looks quite interesting. So we're just going to go round the edge to give this a chance to set before we work on the other I wanted to call it tag there, but it's not a tag. The other information card, the other photograph. I don't don't know what to call it if it's not a tag. A journaling card, I guess. Right. So just round the edges of that, and that'll take hold in a few minutes. It gives us time to decorate up the back and do our little bit of writing. And I've got my stamp set here with my VersaFine ink, and I've got my little bits of information about puffins. So we want it to kind of be on the lines of this without the maps. Fancy it up a little bit. And I've managed to get it dirty already. I'm such a dirty pup. I don't know. Messy pup. Right, so we've got that, 2 known puffin colonies. Not sure I want the Latin name. I just googled some information. So I've got habitat, coastal cliffs, North Atlantic. I've got diet, sand eels and herring, and an interesting fact. So I think we'll just write that out. Try and leave some space for some stamping from my field notes set, I think is what the plan is. So let's do habitat. Right, habitat, coastal cliffs, North Atlantic. Right, that's fine. And diet. Sand eels. Oh, that doesn't sound yummy. But I guess if you're a puffin, will be just a job. And herring. And an interesting fact, I think we'll leave a space so that we can put a stamp in between. So will we stamp it first and then I'll know how much room I've got left. So let's stamp field notes, that sounds appropriate. Now that the ink's out, this could get messy. I think I'll stamp it up here. Yeah. And maybe stamp something here so that we can do our interesting fact roundabout. So what can we put down there? What I observed, that's a wee bit. Will that leave us enough room? Don't think so. Let's just put journal, even although I've got journal in that one, it doesn't really matter. Just going to lift this up with that so that I don't have inky fingers to ink everywhere, but it should be. Right, and we'll put journal in the corner here. Okay, I think that's us. So that's Elizabeth Craft Designs Planner Essentials CSD 394 Field Notes Stamp and Die Set. You get a little die to cut out the wee boy. I think he's a wee boy. Yeah. Okay, so Interesting fact. I'm not going to write interesting fact. I'm just going to write out the interesting fact. Puffins can carry up to 10 fish in their beaks. At once. Thanks to special spines on their tongues. There we go. You learn something new every day. That was a funny word tonight. I got confused. Tongues is a funny word. Right, now. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Is that us then? We've got 2 pieces of information just to slide in. Oh, super quick and easy. But nice, isn't it? I wonder if we want a wee sewing stitch around them. No, do you know, I think I'm just going to leave them as photographs like that. Let me just stand up and show you. That was very quick and easy today. So we've got this one. And this one. Well, because that's only 12 minutes, let's have a wee flip through. So, a little sample slide, faux slide on the first page there with a tag. A book page with some trees, and then there's this little thing here which has got some tags in it that have fallen over, and that's why it's not opening. It's a little concertina booklet there. Some empty pages. Little butterfly page, little tag here, the pine cones, daisies, so it reminds us of the summer days. That was June 25, and then the snail with a little letter there from Myrtle, the modest snail. That's what we did today, actually turning from this one, oops, to this one is quite bright and quite eye-catching. Book page, some more butterflies, an empty page, some stamping, a needed holding page, and then horse chestnuts on a big horse chestnut page. A blank page there. So there's still a few blank pages, some stamping, ladybirds. Ah, the Highland cow. But even the blank pages, it's book page and it still looks like it should be in a nature. Not so much this needs something, but that could just be left. The little hairs on that tag. Little stamping. Some blank pages. A pocket to fill. And then we've got our big mushroom pull out. Oh, wow. Wow. And then in the second signature, we've got Red Admiral butterfly with its little button. And then the pumpkins with the pumpkin fun facts. And our painted pumpkins. The clouds and our facts there. Clouds are the sky's doodles. Some more stamping. Some book pages. Whispers from the Rose Garden with this little flip out here. Lovely. Couple of blank pages. Thistles with the thistle notes. Our moon gazing hares. And then our owls with the owl information on the back. Barn owl and tawny owl. Silent wings. Some empty pages. Oh, there's a few empty pages there. And then on the back page we've got this butterfly belly band with the little journaling card inside. And then this little extra bird concertina. Little extra journal there. Not a journal, a little insert, I suppose. Just loose. It's double-sided. Yeah. So, I am so pleased and happy with how it all came together. This is coming away. Need to do a wee emergency repair on that. That's it, fine. Okay, so that's me. Thanks for joining me today. If you've enjoyed the video, a thumbs up would be great, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.